The Habsburgs were one of the most powerful and long-reigning dynasties in European history. For centuries, they occupied the thrones of Austria, Spain, Hungary, Bohemia, Naples, and also ruled vast colonies in the New World. The Habsburgs' political influence extended from the Holy Roman Empire to the most remote corners of the world, making them key figures in international relations. The origins of the Habsburg family go back centuries. Contrary to popular belief, they did not emerge in the 13th century, but much earlier. Their lineage is linked to the ancient Frankish House of Habsburg, which can be traced back to the 7th century. Guntram the Rich, 10th century, is considered one of their earliest ancestors. In the 13th century, the Habsburgs acquired the Duchy of Austria, laying the foundation for their political power and leading to the dynasty's rise. By the 15th century, they had become one of the most influential dynasties in Europe, securing control over vast territories. The rise of the Habsburgs as a great European dynasty was accompanied by a carefully planned marriage policy. They sought to form alliances with other royal houses, allowing them to expand their domains peacefully. However, over time, marriages within the family became the primary method of maintaining power. Kinship unions, including marriages between cousins, uncles, and nieces, helped them retain control over their vast territories, but also had serious consequences. Eventually, this strategy led to the accumulation of genetic mutations, resulting in physical and mental illnesses among the dynasty's descendants. One of the most prominent hereditary traits was the development of mandibular prognathism, known as the Habsburg Jaw. This defect, passed down from generation to generation, gave members of the dynasty a distinctive appearance, an excessively protruding lower jaw. Beyond the cosmetic aspect, this condition was associated with significant medical problems: difficulty chewing, speech impairments, chronic jaw muscle pain, and temporomandibular joint dysfunction. Some Habsburgs even struggled to close their mouths properly, which affected their daily lives and public appearances. Combined with other health issues, this limited their ability to effectively govern. These problems can be observed in some key figures of the dynasty. Charles V, who ruled in the 16th century, was one of the most powerful monarchs of his time, but he already exhibited signs of the distinctive jaw. He concealed it with a thick beard, and in old age he suffered from severe physical ailments caused not only by age but also by hereditary traits. Ultimately, he voluntarily abdicated the throne and spent the rest of his life in seclusion. His son, Philip II, also had features of the characteristic deformity and was known for his tendency toward melancholy and cruelty. The genetic predisposition to mental illness also played a significant role in the dynasty's fate. Joanna of Castile, the mother of Charles V, is known in history as Joanna the Mad. After her husband's death, she exhibited behavior that contemporaries considered a sign of severe mental illness. It is possible that her condition resulted not only from emotional trauma, but also from hereditary factors. Her descendants showed similar signs of instability, which eventually affected the dynasty's ability to effectively govern. Don Carlos, the son of Philip II, suffered from severe mental disorders, was aggressive and violent, leading to his imprisonment and early death. One of the most tragic examples of the consequences of inbreeding was Charles II, the last Spanish Habsburg. He was born with severe physical and mental disabilities, suffering from epilepsy, chronic weakness, skeletal abnormalities, and cognitive impairments. His appearance and behavior horrified contemporaries. He struggled to speak, had difficulties chewing and digesting food, and his mental abilities remained at the level of a child. As a result, he was incapable of independently ruling the country, leading to political instability and the War of the Spanish Succession. Despite 2 marriages, Charles II left no heirs, further exacerbating Spain's political crisis. His inability to govern led to court divisions and power struggles among his entourage. Foreign powers, including France and Austria, actively intervened in Spanish affairs, which ultimately became one of the causes of the War of the Spanish Succession, radically changing the balance of power in Europe. Likely due to infertility, another consequence of dynastic unions within the family, he left no successor. After his death in 1700, the Spanish branch of the Habsburgs ceased to exist, and power in the country passed to the Bourbons. The Austrian branch continued to rule, but gradually abandoned the policy of intra-family marriages to avoid further genetic problems. However, even in the 18th and 19th centuries, some Habsburgs displayed signs of hereditary diseases, indicating the long-term consequences of their dynastic policies. The Habsburgs played a key role in European history, but their relentless pursuit of power at any cost led to tragic consequences. Their dynastic policies ensured their centuries-long rule, but ultimately it became the cause of their downfall. The history of this family serves as a warning about the risks of consanguineous marriages and remains one of the most vivid illustrations of how genetics can shape the fate of ruling houses. What do you think about this story? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments and see you in the next video.